So welcome back to part 28 of the C8 Corvette surface design in Solidworks. So let's go over a few things that we did in the last tutorial, and then let's just touch up on a few things that we aim to accomplish in this tutorial. Okay, so in the last tutorial we created some pillars here in the front, A, B, and C. And then we created some windows here. We still haven't created this small triangle surface here. And then in this tutorial, what we're going to aim to accomplish is this small surface here, and then come down with the rear pillar and close up this area here. And we're also going to pay special attention to this small surface here as well. Okay, so let's jump into the model and then open, right, open, and then just to let you know, if you're just tuning into my channel uh, and then you like my videos, and if you're starting to watch my videos from the beginning, I mean from like part 20, I highly suggest to start from part 1 and then go all the way up and like that, and then you will learn a few tricks as I learned a few tricks as well along this design as well. So let's jump into the top view here, and I'm just gonna jump into the top view and make a sketch on the top view, and we're gonna throw out these two surfaces here first. So let's do a converted entities and just click on this surface here, and I'm going to cut out these two lines here. I'm gonna grab a line and just come up here like so, and then jump over to surfaces, trim surface. But before we do that, I want to mirror this sketch over to the other side. So let's grab a center line here, and let's grab onto that center, and then let's mirror this section here like that, and then mirror about this line here. Okay, so now that we are jump over to trim surfaces here, we can throw these two surfaces out. Boom. Okay, so let's just do one at a time. Surface, trim surface, and then let's delete this one. Select. Okay, and then let's bring back that sketch. Show, and then trim surface. And let's select the sketch, and then let's remove this face here. Okay, good. So one at a time, right? All right. So let's hide these sketches. Okay, and then we hid those surfaces very nicely. All right. So the next thing I want to do here is I want to grab this line here, and then for that I want to grab a 3D sketch and converted entities, and I want to grab this line here. Press OK. So now that won't work. Control Z again, and instead I'm gonna grab onto it with the spline somewhere around that point, and I'm just going to pull that down to about here for now. Jump to the side view here, and I'm going to add tangency with this line and the curvature. Okay, so we did add the tangency there, and then now we can jump to our first display state, and we can manipulate this curvature to that surface there. All right, so that would be it. All right, so let's leave that line for now. Okay, so the line is good there, and then exit the sketch. Let's hide a few lines from here as well. So just clean up this area a little bit. Hide that one as well. Okay. All right, so now that we have that a little bit cleared up, we can see a little bit better here. So there's one more point here that I want to get rid of, is this one here. And then I'm going to make a sketch on the front plane, normal to profile, and I want to get this corner here. So grab that 3D point. It's not a 3D point, it's just a point, and drop it somewhere in here, and then exit the sketch, and then we're just gonna grab a 3D sketch here with a center line, and then press tab bar to get into Y and Z. So it says here you want to go Y and Z. So, and then get it straight, and then it will snap into straight. So click there, exit the sketch. All right, then we're not going to add any point on this area right now. Okay, so once we have this line here, what we're going to do is we're going to grab another spline here, and we're gonna go from this corner point up to this line. Okay, and then let's just jump to the top here for a quick second, and then we're going to pull this line up to this point. Pull it down here like that, and then we're gonna try to add some tangency to that line. Curvature, or no, actually, let's remove that tangency. Delete. Right, because we want to add the tangency to the small face here. Control. So make sure you add it to the small face, not the big face. So small face and the line, and add that tangency. Now that registered. And then also we can try and add a tangency with this area here, and then so this edge and the line, and add the tangency here. Okay, so let's have a look at our curvature from the top. That looks good from the top. A little bit here, just fine adjustments. And then let's have a look from the side here. And then we can just pull the handlebar down a little bit. Alright, I'm quite happy from the side. Let's just double check again from the top. So to bring this, in case you don't know, pressing the space bar will bring up this 3D cube. So you can select the right view plane that you're looking for. Okay, so once we have that line determined, then we can exit the sketch. All right, and then Let's jump over to our second display state here. And then we're going to grab of course, you already know what I'm going to get, and it's going to be a spline from this point to that point. So let's jump to the side view here again. We need to bring back our first display state. And then we're going to add tangency with this curvature and this edge here. And then let's try and add tangency with the face as well. All right. And now let's just come in here quickly and just do a final adjustment to that curve. So let's have a look at the picture here. All right. So it has some has a little bit of sharpness in that corner there. That it goes up. It has a little bit straight here and then sharp here. So let's try to tackle that. So this is where the corner is. So let's grab a spline point, drop it here, and click back on that line and add our control polygons. And of course, we're just gonna pull that down here. And that will add that little bit of, especially if we move that up a little bit, that will add that little bit of sharpness to us. All right, that's good. All right, and then let's just have a look from the top. And yeah, I just have to work this out here as well. So now you don't have to pull it down. You don't have to pull it down all the way like that. All right, so let's have a look at again from the side view just to make sure. Yes, so it's a bit straight here. And let's try to add back the corner in this area. Something like that. Maybe if we. All right, so all right, so let's leave that as it is. Just jump to the top again to see. So we want to be straight as possibly we can. So that looks good to me. Okay. All right, exit the sketch, and we're gonna fill this as a surface, and we're gonna see how it looks. So let's go to surfaces, fill surface, and select these lines. So we don't want any warpage in our surfaces, so we want to make sure of that. All right, so let's go back into the sketch. So delete the surface, and let's go back into the sketch here. Edit the sketch in this direction here. So spin it like that, and then let's try to align with that curvature. Alright, so exit the sketch. And now let's add our field surface again. Don't forget to add that small piece there. Okay, so that looks a lot better now. It has a much better curvature. Let's jump back, see that picture. So the picture goes down like that. Okay, good. Right, so okay, so the next thing we want to determine here is is that line here. So let's jump to the top view here, and the line that we want to get is this line here that rolls around this area, because we will bring this halfway, half of this, we will bring half of this down in this area here. So we will just do a surface, a boundary surface from here to this section here, but only half of this surface here. Okay, so or maybe we can do, no, let's just do half of it, right? Okay, so we need to determine the height of this point here. So I'm going to hide this sketch for now. But actually, we need to create that surface first. We need to create this small surface first, because we're going to bring out this section from here, and we need to finish up with the mirror, with the window section here, of course. So that corner will attach with that edge there. All right, so let's jump back into the top view here, and let's bring back that 3D sketch. That's our 3D sketch here. So okay, and then let's just see. We have a nice projection all the way to that point there. So let's grab a 3D sketch, and it's going to be a 3D spline, and we're gonna come from this corner here, maybe a little bit higher up, and then we will adjust this when we jump to the top view here. So let's jump to the top view, and let's adjust this spline here. So let's bring it down to about here, and then we're gonna bring this down to here, and maybe we're going to give a little bit of curvature in that direction there. And of course, we're gonna jump into our second display state here, and then we're going to jump here, and I just want to move the model up in that direction, so we can actually create try and align here with that curvature there, something like that. Okay, and I want to just pull this up and then follow that curvature. And on this handlebar, I'm going to fix that along the z-axis, and then of course we can make sure that we are not higher than this area here. So let's just turn the model over here, and coming from this section, and just make sure that we are not higher than that section there. And that our curvature is similar. So I'm reckon it looks good. So let's come over here, and then let's try to do a fill surface on this area. The surfaces, not mesh modeling surfaces, and let's try to do this fill surface without creating the 3D sketch. So it's not going to let us do. So let's jump into and create these 3D sketches. And then another one. Down to that corner, and then another one. Down to this corner here. Okay, and then let's do this one as well. We might not have to, but let's just exit the sketch and jump straight over to fill surface, and then select this line, and it gives us the surface. All right, so that surface looks pretty good, pretty straight. If you look at from here, nice fluid surface throughout that area. All right, so okay, so now let's create this section here for this small area. Let's jump into a picture here. So we need to create this section here. It's coming from, and that roof is coming from. It's coming from that corner there. So we're gonna might actually just trim this area here. So let's just jump to the top, and then let's go over to the top plane, and then let's trim that section here straight, and surfaces, trim surface, and let's cut this out. Okay, so another thing we need to do here is we need to get that line from the middle section. So sketch, 3D sketch, convert entities, and we want to get this line here. But we're not going to convert that entity actually. We're going to grab a spline and just snip onto that black point there. And just going to pull it down somewhere here. And then let's jump into the first display state. Spacebar, normal to profile. And then we're going to add our tangency on that curvature. Select the curve, select the edge, add our tangency right there. And let's pull this line somewhere here. And that will create a nice curvature for us for that surface there. So we're probably going to follow this line in this area. All right. So once we have that, exit the sketch, and you already know what I'm going to do here. So um, I'm going to grab another 3D spline, and I'm just gonna jump from here all the way to that point. Of course, we're gonna jump to the top, and then we can move this a little bit down here. Spacebar, jump to the top. Don't worry about that. This is in here and it's not over here. So let's keep this somewhere here. Somewhere here. And then delete that coincidence. Okay. And then we want to add a second display state. And we want to add a fix along on that curvature. I'm just going to click this line and I'm going to click this node here. I'm going to fix that along the Z axis here. Okay, so that will give us a nice straight profile over here. Press OK. All right, and then of course we can try and create a field surface on this area. So field surface, not that one. This line and this line and this line here. We can try a boundary. So this edge, this line, flip the connectors, and for direction 2 is going to be this line here and this edge here. And we're going to pull these lines back. Let's pull this back until we see the black dot, and that will register on that side as well. Okay, so, and for this area here we can add tangency to face, direction to the, no, and tangency to face. That's it. Alright, so now we have a nice fluid surface all the way through on that surface as well. Okay, and of course we're gonna mirror this over to the other side. So mirror, and then front plane, bodies to mirror. And maybe we can mirror these ones as well and these ones. And press OK. Alright, so that looks good. Okay, so now we have to determine that area there that will connect to. So let's jump into our first disk, but before that, let's save our model. All right, and then let's bring in first display state, and then let's make a sketch on the top plane. So this is the line that we want. So let's hide this line for now. So hide the line. All right, and then we want to get this curvature here. So make a sketch on that top plane and I grab the curvature. And then we want to get the curvature from, let's go all the way. Let's go all the way from just here to down to this area here. And maybe we give that a little bit of profile. Something like that. Okay. And then I'm gonna make a sketch on this surface here. So exit this sketch. And then and we just make a sketch on this surface here. And of course that sketch is going to be a converted line. And then we're going to offset that converted line to about 1 millimeter. Try maybe 2, so try 3, and it will be a little bit higher, which we are looking for. Okay, and then we're just gonna cut this bottom line here. All right, and now let's do a projected curve. So select projected curve, and then you want to select sketch on sketch, and I already selected this one, and let's select this one here and select a check mark. Okay, so now if we jump back in the top here and check our curvature is registered. So now we can add that boundary surface on that curvature. All right, so let's jump to the top section here. And basically, we only want half of this because the other half goes to that side. So we're gonna have to make a 3D sketch here. Let's go from halfway somewhere here and try to get up close here. Or instead, let's not put these sketches down. And then let's just go straight to surfaces, boundary surface, and select this curve and that curve. Let's flip these connectors. Flip the connectors. And we want to pull this up here. And then we want to add tangency to face in this area here. Direction to vector, you want tangency to face. And that's registered there. And we're just gonna see how thick it is. You might need to take off from it. So let's go back into the surface, edit surface. And then jump to the top. And then we're just gonna pull this line somewhere down there. So none. Maybe if you don't put any tangency on that area, that will be better. So let's have a look. All right, and we still have a nice fluid surface generation right there. Okay, so that looks good. Let's have a look from the side here quickly. We are right on target in that one as well. Okay, so The next thing I want to do is sorry, I had a phone call. So next thing I want to do is I want to hide this line here, and I want to come some way around here, and I want to add a line across this point here. So let's jump into a 3D sketch and add a spline, a 3D spline of course, and I'm gonna go from this point to this point down here, and then jump to the top and just add a tangency from this surface to this surface. All right. One second. All right, so I had another phone call. So we're going to leave this line here for now, and then exit the sketch, and then let's grab another 3D sketch here. Let's grab a spline, and let's go from this edge to this edge here. Try to align it as best as we can, and then maybe we give a little bit profile from this way, and then the most important profile here is in the second display state, and let's just jump to the real back view here, and then let's move that down here. Let's add a spline point right about here, exit the whole thing and click on the line, and let's grab our control polygon, and of course we're just going to pull in here like so, and I'm going to keep that curvature somewhere here. And let's have a look from the side if we are straight with that curvature, and then we just need to straighten this curvature out a little bit. Okay, let's have a look at it from the side again. And maybe just pull that down a little bit. Double check again from the side. And that looks almost good. All right. Okay, just double check again from the rear. Okay, that looks good. And then let's create this surface now and see what we have. All right, so let's try and do a boundary surface, possibly from this line to this line, and flip these connectors, and let's do direction 2 for this edge, and then this edge here. If you need, of course, you need to pull this down to this point. I want there. I want to be able to pull this line down as well to that point until we see the black dot. Okay, and the black dot registers on this side as well. We don't see tangency here, exit. So none. So no tangency needed. And then we press maybe be a tangency on this face. Okay, so press OK. And let's have a look at our surface here. And it created a nice corner here for us, which is beautiful. All right. And then now let's do another boundary surface from this line to this line here. Let's flip the connectors, and for direction 2, we're going to choose this edge here. So selection manager, and then all the way throughout. And of course, we're going to pull this line into the black dot area. Once you see that, so let's pull that back here. Yeah, so let's try to find that black dot. Are we on this line here? Alright, so we're probably not going to be able to get to the black dot on this section here, so we're just going to get up as close as possible. And that will be good. Okay, and then let's do a tangency to face here. Tangency to face, that might create some kind of curvature here. So let's say none, and press OK. Alright, let's have a look at the surface. The surface looks good. However, there's like a kinkiness in here, so let's fix that up. Edit that sketch. And that's the sharp edge there that I was not happy about. Something like that. Exit the sketch. And let's have a look at our surface now. It's a lot better. There's a little bit there, but I think that's needed there. We can maybe move it, take it off afterwards. Alright, so next surface we want to do, it's going to be this surface here. Alright, so and let's try and do fill surface as it is. I doubt that it will do it. Yes, it's not. Okay, so let's grab a 3D sketch. To there. And another one. That point. Another one. To this point down here. Okay, and let's grab another one. To that point. Alright, so now let's add our fill surface into this area. So now fill surface, not edit sketch. So they filled it in. Let's have a look. Okay, so this is not what I had in mind. This is really not what I had in mind. But if let's get this appearance here. Okay, press exit, and then copy this appearance to this side window here, and then that is not the surface that we are looking for here. All right, so let's delete that. Okay, now let's delete this surface, this sketch as well. All right, so unfortunately that wasn't the surface that we were looking for. So let's jump over to Curvature here, and let's delete some stuff here. Let's delete that, and let's delete that as well. We're gonna keep that. We're gonna keep that. We're gonna keep the surface there, but we are going to delete the sketch. And then we're going to delete this surface here. All right, and then we're going to come into, instead of doing a boundary surface from this line to this line, we're going to do an extend surface. We're going to extend this surface here. Okay, let's try same surface. As the same surface is not really the best. Oh, it pulled it all the way down. Down there. All right, so let's pull that up a little bit. Even more. So obviously same surface will not work for us. So let's just go with linear here. And we're gonna go all the way down here like that. And of course we're gonna trim that out. Okay, so press OK. Alright, so that's already looking a lot more promising. Alright. So let's jump into our first display state. Front top view. And then let's find that sketch. So this is our, I think this was our sketch. Oh, this was our sketch. 3D sketch 178. Right. So let's jump into trim here. Trim tool, and let's get rid of this area. And then we are on target almost. All right. So that looks good here. Let's jump to the side here for a second. And let's set an appearance so we can see a little bit better. All right. All right. So we're gonna keep it this for now. kind of drops down here. Mm. Hmm. Let's delete this surface and jump to a future to see what's that problem we have here. Let's just trim here, delete that trim as well. Okay, so let's stay on this line here. So let's do a boundary. All right, let's do a boundary surface here from this end to this end here. And let's see if we can do direction 2 with this line. We cannot. So let's do a boundary from this one to this. And let's pull this up to here. And add our tangency to face. And we pull that down a little bit here. So basically, what we are aiming for is to be sticking out a bit more than the actual window. So let's jump to the top here quickly. None. And pull this up here. So let's try and take off some of the curvature on this sketch here. Edit that sketch. Maybe like that. Exit the sketch. And then let's extend the surface now. And actually, that actually looks a little bit better. So press OK. And then let's add basically we want that mirror to fall underneath that surface. That's our aim here. So let's add a straight line from here to here through the sketch, and let's get a spline from here to here. And let's give this tangency with this face. Okay, and now let's go to surfaces and do a boundary surface from here to this line here. Flip these connectors, and for direction 2, let's choose this edge here. Of course, with selection manager. And add that surface for us. Let's just go back here, edit sketch, make sure that we are connecting to edges as well. So direction 2, selection manager, press OK, and I want to pull out points until we see the black dot, obviously. Well, that won't come all the way in there, but we're gonna come as close as possibly we can. All right, for now, and then press OK, and that mirror should fall in a little bit. All right, so now let's try and add the 3D sketches around these areas here. Exit that sketch. It's 3D spline. Start from here. That point, and another 3D spline. All the way down on this edge here. And a few more. To that point there. And then another one from here all the way up to that point. So let's have a look at the surface now. That surface. And the contact 3D contact, make that. Let's see if tangent will help us. It will not. Let's have a look at the surface. Now I won't be able to do that surface. Or did it? No, I didn't do the surface. Oh, right. Okay. My mistake. So let's delete the line here. Okay. And then what we're going to do is come into boundary and then select this line here and this line. And we're just going to flip these connectors. Okay, and we don't need to add any tangency on this surface. Okay, maybe we can try a tangency here. How about this? Don't need it. Tangent space. Maybe flip it. No, I don't need any tangency. None. Press OK. Okay, so this here the problem is. Pull that up. Coming close in this corner, we will knit them together anyways. Press OK. Okay, so we have that surface. And now let's create this surface here. So let's create this line and then this line. And for direction 2, we can try this edge here. Let Solidworks think of the unsolvable. That's not unsolvable. Let's put it down here. And maybe we can pull it a little bit down here. Okay, so exit this boundary surface and we're going to do a fill surface. Exit this and then we're going to do a fill surface here. The sketch, 3D sketch, curvature, spline, and then just gonna come up into this point here. And hopefully we won't intersect anything with these curvatures here. And just come up to this point here. And then let's grab that other spline and just connect to these edges here. Okay, so let's jump to surfaces here. Try to do a fill surface on these sketches. So there may be some intersections in this area. Edit sketch. So let's cut this one here and then cut this small piece here. And then that's good. Exit. And just jump back into 3D. Grab the spline again. Up to that point. And let's grab the spline. Up to that point. Okay, exit the sketch. And check fill surface. And this line here. Alright, so it created the surface that we were looking for. Not really the best. I'm not very happy with it. But in the next tutorial after this, we will work on these sections a little bit more. And then we're gonna get it perfect as always. Alright, so there's one more thing I want to do here is I want to come to the top here and jump into the top view section and just grab a glass on that. Yeah, I grab one glass and then I just want to trim away some surfaces here. Sketch on that. Just grab a line and trim that off. Surface is trim surface and trim it here. Alright, so let's jump back to seconds display state. And then it's not exactly what we wanted, but in the next tutorial we will fix this area up as it should look like, and then see you in the tutorial 20. I think it's going to be 29. Okay, so I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and then I'll see you back in tutorial 29 where we will fix up this area here. Okay, thank you, bye.